Hi, folks. I think we're at 1 o'clock right now. Well, we are officially at 1 o'clock. My name is Jason Baker. Obviously, if you're watching, I'm coming to you from Burlington, Vermont. I hope you can hear me. If anybody is watching, you could help me out by sending me a message. If you're watching on the Folk Unlocked site, please send me a little message in the chat. I'll check it. I'll check it after this first song and see if anybody's listening and tell me how it sounds. I'm working with one mic here, and we can adjust that as best we can. But I'd really like to know what you guys are thinking, and if you're out there and having a good time. Yeah, this is our replacement for the late night hotel room and also kitchen parties and anything else. So think of this as your private kitchen party or living room house party. All these songs are going to be songs, at first at least, I'm going to go right through my album, The Lighthouse, in order. So this is, The Lighthouse was released last August. I wrote all the material for it, other than one song, which is a traditional folk song. You'll guess which one that is. I'm sure you'll figure it out. And I wrote all that in April and released it by August, right here in this room. I had help from some musician, Patty Shannon. Locally, we did a socially distanced recording session where she added bass to a couple tracks and vocals to a couple tracks. Anyway, this is the first track on the album, The Lighthouse. This is called When the World. We finally could see clear across the mountains and clear across the seas. See the whole world as it ought to be. See the future under lock and key. See a way to set the people free. Yes, that is what we found when the world shut down. When the world shut down, we finally could hear the beating of our hearts. Notice thoughts appear. Hear the whole world thrown out of gear. Hear the big men being insincere. Hear the people overcoming fear. That is what we found when the world shut down. This will be our only shot to live the life we all forgot. The flaws have been laid bare to see. Time to choose who you want to be. Now, who do you want to be? When the world shut down, we finally could feel what is phony and feel what is real. Feel the whole world shoulder to the wheel. Feel the people, they're living the ordeal. Feel that pain and find a way to heal. That is what we found when the world shut down. 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 The next song on the album is called Everybody Has a Name. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. I hope actually, I said I would check this live stream for comments. And at YouTube, you can comment too. If you're watching, tell me how it sounds. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to refresh my page and see if anybody's there. And so, yeah, I'm just going to do my album, The Lighthouse, right in order first, and then we'll play some fun stuff. And if you have requests, then the chat would be the place to put them. If you're watching, I hope you're having a good time wherever you are, and have enjoyed your conference or enjoying whatever. If you're not part of the conference and just watching on YouTube. Hope you're having a good time. No chats yet. No comments yet. We'd love to hear from people. I'm going to turn this camera down a little. Yeah. See the guitar a little better there. And maybe this way a little bit too. No, yeah. Okay. This is called Everybody Has a Name. There is a sickness in the air. People are dying everywhere, while the leaders played a waiting game. Everybody has a name. Everybody has a name. The plague is gone the whole world round. 1 million people dead in the ground. Fear the pastor, fuel to the flames. Everybody has a name. Everybody has a name. There's gonna be a reckoning day. Let the chips fall where they may. All the people know who to blame. Everybody has a name. Everybody has a name. That's that song. I'm going to switch guitars to do the next one. Let's see. Let's refresh again and see if we got any chats. We're going to switch to this Yamaha. I should tell stories about the guitars, I suppose. Last one, I'll tell that when it comes back. This one's a rescue guitar. It got really beat up, but it actually sounds pretty nice after being fixed. Ooh. There we go. This is a special tuning, so it has to be just right. This tuning came from Paul Lubana-Jones, who I was trying to figure out some of his songs, and I couldn't figure him out, so I contacted him, not expecting him to actually reply via Facebook, and he responded, and not only told me what the tuning was, but gave me advice to live with the tuning, try it with capos in different positions and get different textures, and write several songs with it to see how it goes. And I ended up with at least half a dozen songs. I put a couple on my album, The Lighthouse. This one is one of them. It's called We've Been Dark Ever Since. Blame it on the sickness, say that was the cause. Business was already dodgy, so we just closed our doors. We've been dark ever since. We've been dark ever since. We've been thinking about dead presidents. We've been dark ever since. It started well before that, when Tom got back from the war. The factories one by one fell silent. There were no jobs anymore. We've been dark ever since. We've been dark ever since. We've been thinking about dead presidents. We've been dark ever since. They shot the leaders of this country in the year that I was born. Shot Kennedy in 63, and to this day this country mourns. We've been dark ever since. We've been dark ever since. We've been thinking about dead presidents. We've been dark. We've been dark. We've been dark ever since. So I love that tuning, and I hope you like that song. And thank you, Matthew McDonald. Thank you. Somebody came through with a message saying it sounds good. Thank you very much. I just wanted to know that you could, that it was coming on, because I did a stream on Monday night, Tuesday morning at the same time, 1 a.m. and there were people there for sure. But my video, because of the place I was working, had the video that froze the video, but the sound was going, so I did the show, and I hope that is appreciated. So we're gonna switch and do. Let's do this. Yeah. Now we're going to bring in. So that was, this is just for the people keeping folk score at home. That was a dad. It was a variation with a G instead of an high A, and capoed up to second fret there. So it was an E. This is a song that's just this is a C harmonica played in cross harp. So this song was inspired by a quote that went around the internet from a woman named, I believe I'm getting there, I hope I'm getting her name right, Sona Renee Taylor. Take a drink. Isn't that exciting when I announce I'm going to take a drink? And the quote was, about how we really don't want to go back to normal, because normal wasn't a very good thing. There was all these problems with normal, and normal never really was normal. So that inspired a song for me, of course. This is called Normal Never Was. Normal is children starving to death, beaten or abused, everyone on meth, strung out and confused, brazen profiteering, celebrating greed, forests disappearing, destroying what we need. We can't go back to normal. We can't go back, because normal isn't normal. Normal never was. Normal is everything depleted. Anything's fair game. Nature is mistreated, defiled in your name. We're digging up the dead to burn ourselves alive, just to have some bread. We're killing to survive. We can't go back to normal. We can't go back, because normal isn't normal. Normal never was. normal is filling up on hate. Yeah, hate is all the rage. Hate is the debate. Hate is right on stage. Hatred is the hallmark of gross inequity. We cannot return to our old normality. We can't go back to normal. We can't go back because normal isn't normal. Normal never was. Normal never was. All right. Checking in, Faith. Thanks to Matthew and Faith for letting me know. It sounds good. That's what I need to know, is if it sounds okay. So, I think you'll recognize this song once I get going. See if you can figure out which traditional folk song this is. It was down in old Joe's bar room on the corner by the square. They were serving drinks as usual, and the usual crowd was there. On my left stood Big Joe McKennedy. His eyes were bloodshot red. He turned to the crowd around him, and these were the words he said. I went down to St. James Infirmary, and I saw my sweetheart there. She was laying out on that table, so cold and pale and fair. I went to talk to her doctor. He's mighty low, he said. I went back to see my baby, and great God, she was lying there dead. Let her go, God bless her. Wherever she may be, I could search this wide world over. I'll never find a better woman for me. Now when I die, please bury me in a high-top Stetson hat, and put a gold piece on my watch chain, so the boys will know I died standing pat. Get 6 gamblers to carry my coffin, and 6 chorus girls to sing my song, to put a jazz band on my tailgate, to raise hell as we roll along. Yeah, this here's the end of my story. So let's have another round of booze. And if anybody should ask me, you just tell them I got the St. James Infirmary blues. So there's a traditional folk song that I included on my album, The Lighthouse. I also want to take this moment to note that I did a traditional folk album, a separate album of traditional folk music with Rik Palieri, who is my mentor, who I do a radio show with called Folk Talk with Rik Palieri. It appears on Folk Music Notebook. Folkmusicnotebook.com. If you're not familiar, check it out, please. And our show is one of many great shows that are rebroadcast from, we're a regular radio show on our community radio station here in Burlington, Vermont. And we also get broadcast on Folk Music Notebook, thanks to Ron Oleska. And so Rik is my mentor, and he showed me a lot of folk songs. And so, in fact, we'll get to something else Rik did for me in a minute. But first, I'm going to try and do this song. which is another original on my album. And I have an extra instrument here, which you'll see in a minute. So let's see if I can get through this song. I woke up this morning and I'm feeling so bad. I called Israfil to come blow his horn. Wherever I look, people made me mad, and so I called Israfil to come blow his horn. They're doing those things they know they shall not. I called Israfil to come blow his horn. Losing my patience at them losing the plot, and so I called Israfil to come blow his horn. Can really play, especially on Judgment Day. And when he gets to blowing that horn, well, let's just say that you've been wrong. Never listen to a word I say. Israfil, come blow your horn. They're talking out the back of their heads. Israfil, come blow your horn. Disobeying all of my rules. Israfil, come blow your horn. Acting like a bunch of fools. Now Israfil, come blow your horn. Yeah, Israfil can really play, especially on Judgment Day. And when he gets to blowing that horn, well, let's say that you've been warned. My boy fell down upon his knees. Israfil, come blow your horn. Said, Father, won't you spare him, please? Israfil, come blow your horn. I just smiled and I said no. Israfil, come blow your horn. And besides, this cat can really blow. Now Israfil, come blow your horn. Yeah, Israfil can really play, especially on Judgment Day. And when he gets to blowing that horn, well, let's just say that you've been warned. Israfil, come blow your horn. All right, I think that was fun. I hope you had fun, because I had fun playing it. Kazoos make everything kind of fun. All right, we're gonna switch guitars. So we're trying to switch up the instruments to keep your ears interested. Kazoos and harmonicas, and this incredible guitar, which you've probably been looking at all night. So in case you don't want to drop this is not mine. So I'm going to first say this is not my guitar. This guitar belongs to Rik Palieri, and Rik has been gracious enough to give it to me for a long time loan, although it's going back to him very soon. Oh, look how shiny it looks on the thing. Anyway, thank you, Rik, for being my mentor, for taking me under your wing, for teaching me a bunch of songs, and for letting me use this guitar. I wrote a song on it. Well, actually, I think I wrote the song originally on a ukulele or something, but I transferred it, and I found playing it here really worked best for its style. And so thanks to it's on the album with this guitar. So I got to record this guitar on my album. If you want to hear it again, I won't be able to hear it live ever again after this. So hope you're going to enjoy this. This song is about a hole. Yes, that's right. It's about a hole, a very, very big hole in the middle of Burlington, Vermont, downtown. Yeah, the song tells the story. If you don't know it, you can look it up and probably see a picture of the big hole. So this is called The Big Hole. There's a big hole in the ground in the middle of downtown. There's a big hole in the ground. It used to be a neighborhood here. It's been gone now many a year. There's a big hole hole in the ground. Build a shop on top, put all crosstown traffic to a stop. There's a hole, big hole. Then they tore that white elephant down. Now there's a hole in the middle of the town. There's a hole, big hole in the ground. There's a hole where your vision ought to be. You see a hole and you go plant a money tree. They was gonna build real tall, but now nothing's being built at all. There's a hole, big hole in the ground. Those money men say they're gonna keep on trying, but you can tell their lips move when they're lying. There's a hole, big hole in the ground. Mr. Moneybags, you hear what I said? The real hole is inside of your head. There's a hole, a big hole in your head. You have no soul, so you have no art. Yes, there's a hole where you should have a heart. There's a hole, big hole in your heart. Your idea of the American dream is enough to make a dreamer scream. There's a big hole in your dream. And you know what I believe is true? That's just where we ought to bury you, in a hole, big hole in the ground. A hole in the ground. Boy, I love the way this guitar sounds. So thanks again, Rik, for lending me this guitar. This will be the last time I play this guitar for a while. I feel so sad, but it's actually, I'm very happy to have had the chance, because it gave me a chance to give me an impetus to work out learning alternate tunings. I was just a regular tuning guy for the longest time, and I didn't want to do anything else, but I learned to change. So let's do this guitar again. All right, so again, for those keeping folk score at home, this is the tuning is D-A-D, F-sharp, G-D. The capo is at the 7th fret, so we're in key of A. The harmonica, oh right, the harmonica needs to be changed to the key of D to play cross harp in A. So I hope I'm getting a lot of folk points for all those things. You know that you got to get folk points, right? For that, don't you? I'm kidding around. Yeah. That sounds okay. Pardon me. So I'm doing the songs in the order of the album. You might have noticed the first songs were kind of heavy, deep, and real. And we've kind of lightened up since then a little bit with the humorous Big Hole song and It's Or Feel. Yeah, this when I first shopped a bunch of the songs I was writing for this album to some really generous songwriters who took time to listen and give me feedback. Just a few, but they really, really gave great feedback. And one of the first feedback I got was, these are great songs. So are you going to write any uplifting material for the album? So yeah, maybe this is, we'll see how this goes. I think this is uplifting. It's called A Little Further Down the Road. We still have to deal with our conditions, but I think things will be better. And hopefully we won't have to do this necessarily completely virtually again, and we can be together. So. What comes next is anyone's guess. Guessing is uncertain. Can't look behind the curtain. Answers lie around the bend. Although the questions never end, there is a sign you will decode. A little further down the road. A little further down the road. Things don't change on their own. Gotta push, that much is known. And if we push together, it all could be much better. Answers lie around the bend. Although the questions never end, we can move that heavy load. A little further down the road. A little further down the road. Memories are all we've got. I'm missing everyone a lot, but nothing lasts forever, and we will be together. Answers lie around the bend, although the questions never end. Maybe we return the love we showed. A little further down the road, we will be together. We will be together. We will be together. A little further down the road. All right. Excellent. Love the way this guitar sounds. It's like a tiny bit out tuned, so let me double. I'm gonna have to change it anyway. All right, harmonica off, capo off. I have to watch my what I'm doing here so I don't mess it up. I hope folks are still having a good time. I'm gonna actually let's take this moment to refresh the comments and see if anybody else has come in and said hi. I want to say hi back to you and thank you very much for attending. If you're listening in, I'll be I'm gonna want something. The thing is, I want to see if anybody's come in so I can talk to you while I'm retuning this guitar. This guitar needs to come out of this special tuning now. And it won't be long. It's not a long one. Yeah. Hey, awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. So goodbye to this tuning. We're gonna make sure this thing is in actual tune first of all. Yeah, that's actually. So this is going to be standard jazz fad, as if you're a folkie playing this stuff out. Yeah. Still registering as sharp or something. No, it's flat. Okay. So I'm sorry for giving you the tuning song, but I want to make sure we're actually in tune. There we go. Man, that sounds nice, doesn't it? I thought it sounded nice. Yeah, I guess another thing a friend posted on Facebook or something, but their advice was, grow a plant. Anything, like a tomato, anything. Because it'll make you a better person. And I thought that was interestingly true. So I wrote this song. Planting all the seeds in the little pots, peppers and tomatoes, we sure have a lot. Planting all those thoughts deep inside of me. Diligence and patience, calm consistency. With every seed I sow, I begin to grow, keeping it alive helps my soul to thrive. Tending to the garden, watering and weeds, picking kale and rhubarb, planting late crop seeds, planting to my garden, bringing fruit from flower, caring for another gives you magic powers. With every seed I sow, I begin to grow, keeping it alive helps my soul to thrive. Harvesting the garden, food for us to eat. Peppers and tomatoes help us make ends meet. Harvesting the lessons of growing things from seed, from flowering to fruit, teaches what we need. With every seed I sow, I begin to grow, keeping it alive helps my soul to thrive. So I decided to call that song Grow. I could have called it Thrive, but I like Grow. That's the lesson, really, isn't it? All right, we're going to switch around, switcheroo. Yeah. So this is the very last. So we've gone through almost all of my album, The Lighthouse, except for the title track, which requires just switching the harmonica back. And yeah, so playing it in folk style rather than cross harp this time. Let's make sure I've got the C harmonica. Yes. And thank you again for everybody who's tuning in still and sticking with me. If you're sticking with me, I hope you're enjoying it. We've got, I'm squinting because I'm not wearing my glasses. I got 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to finish with my album, doing the album part, and then I'm just going to have some fun with a bunch of different stuff from previous albums or folk songs. And any requests, feel free to send them in the chat. Hey, I might know it. So anyway, this is the last song on the album. It's the title track. It's a song really about community. Lighthouses are really one of the first early communal things that benefit not just the community they're built by, but the communities, the people that come and visit the communities around them who trade with them, etc. So it's just one of the more interesting. It piqued my interest. So the album is called The Lighthouse. And this is The Lighthouse. All the young lads in town were heading on me. My mother says to me, what will be, seek your fortune if you must. But please remember home and let the lighthouse guide you back. Look for the lighthouse. Lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. The lighthouse, it was built so many years ago by everyone in town. The station high or low, the people came together and they worked both day and night. They made their common purpose the raising of the light. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Well, now we're out at sea, fighting for our lives, thinking of our children, thinking of our wives. And when the battle rages and storms are raging too, we think about the lighthouse and we know what to do. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. So when you're facing trouble and you don't know what to do, when the storms of life have broken and battered you, look for people helping and you join them if you can. You could be the light that leads the lost back to dry land. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Look for the lighthouse. Let the lighthouse guide you home. The Lighthouse. Right, that's the entire album, The Lighthouse. That's my most recent solo album. I have 3 solo albums out and 1 album that's a duet album of folk songs and traditional music with Rik Palieri called Folk Talk, a Guide to Traditional Folk Music, Volume 1, because we're planning on doing more. So again, that's Folk Talk, a Guide to Traditional Folk Music, Volume 1. But now, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a folk song. Let's do one. It's a random folk song. Let's do that in honor of this. It's not on the album, but I actually liked, it's not easy when you can't sing, everybody can't sing together. The traditional stuff you normally sing in groups, you don't get to do. So I really like this song. And although it's much better in a group, it's kind of okay to sing it alone. And I hope you can sing along with me at home. It's kind of a mellow version. I got to really lubricate my throat for this though. With water. I think you'll recognize it. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all fall in behind. We'll be alright. The wind is in our sails, we'll be alright. The wind is in our sails, we'll be alright. The wind is in our sails and we'll all fall in behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all fall in behind. Well, the night's watch below wouldn't do us any harm. A night's watch below wouldn't do us any harm. A night's watch below wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all fall in behind. It will be alright. If we make it round the horn, we'll be alright. If we make it round the horn, we'll be alright. Once we make it round the horn, and then we'll all fall in behind. We'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all fall in behind. Well, a night on the town wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a night out on the town wouldn't do us any harm. Yes, a night out on the town wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all fall in behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all fall in behind. Yes, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, we'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all fall in behind. Yes, we'll all fall in behind. All right, I've never done that one before live or recorded it or anything, so maybe you guys liked that one. What else should we do here now that I can do anything I want? All right, you know? How much time do we have here? Oh my, we have 15 minutes. You know what? Yeah, let's pick this back up and get that harmonica back. And I've got an idea of what to do. So we got about 13 minutes. So yeah, I got about time for 3 songs, I'd say. And I hope that folks are still tuned in and interested in what's going on. I hope you can hear me. And yeah, keep it rolling here. This is a song from Common Man Blues. This is it's self-explanatory. It's about climate change refugees. This is called Across the Desert Sand. We walk across the desert sand, and all we own is in our hands. We are now refugees of war and poverty and of the changes in the land. The mountain snows have gone, the lake did not last long. We walk across the desert sand. We farmed and fished upon the plains, and in the forest hunted game. The forest now is gone, the fish no longer spawn, the crops all fail for lack of rain. The wind begins to gust, the soil returns to dust, the farms are dust upon the plain. We have no food to eat at all, no one to help that we could call. Men with guns, they came, took all the food away. Listen to the children bawl. So it's come to be, we're climate refugees. We see the writing on the wall. We walk across the desert sand, We walk across the desert sand. We walk across the desert sand. We walk across the desert sand. Across the desert sand. All right. Our time is 9 minutes. All right. We still got time for a couple songs. Woohoo! I'm excited to be playing to y'all, actually. I'm like being up. I'm up late anyway a lot, and I love playing music. So, hey. Yeah, well, actually. Let's see. What one should I do? Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's take a little. I haven't played my ukulele all the show because there's no ukulele songs officially on, although many of the songs were written on ukulele. Many of my songs are. Let's do this with the ukulele. At least one song with the ukulele, okay? And this is for everybody who loves folk music and roots music. It's written at the old songs after a Sunday afternoon downpour. So you know what's going on. It's called We Don't Know Any Better. It's for everybody who loves roots music. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. We can't help but to love it when the chorus comes around. And when the pickers get to picking, we get up and we get down. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. Now hear the sound of them old-time music. Some kid picking on an old guitar, finding the words, trying to be heard. He's always been told, stop wishing on a star. Well, he ain't in it for the money, and we ain't in it for the fame. Smoking on licks and some politics, and a single book chorus is the name of this game. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. We can't help but to love it when the chorus comes around. And when the pickers get to picking, we get up and we get down. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. Well, hear the sound of them old-time folkies talking about the times they went to jail. The country needed fixing, getting rid of Nixon. They marched out, fell out of town on a rail. Well, now we are in trouble anymore. It's even worse than it was before. Well, some love to hate, but love trumps hate. Well, let's sing this chorus. We showed him to the door. Yeah, we don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. We can't help but to love it when the chorus comes around. And when the pickers get to picking, we get up and we get down. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. Let's come right out of it. Now hear the sound of those old-time banjo, guitar, mandolin, and fiddlers too. We like to jam in any way we can. This here's an open stage. Let's hear a song from you. Sometimes we begin to question, like when the rain come pouring down, why are we here? We could be there. It comes back to us when we hear this sound. We sing, we don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. We can't help but to love it when the chorus comes around. And when the pickers come to picking, we get up and then we get down. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. We don't know any better. We just like the way it sounds. My kazoo confused me and I lost my lyrics for the third verse right away, but I hope you enjoy that song anyway. Our time is 5 minutes, so I think we have time for one more song. What song should I do? It's a tough. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna capo up and play this. So this will be my last song for the evening, I think. I'll sign off after, but of course, let me just say thank you to the Folk Alliance for having the Folk Unlocked showcases. I also want to thank Rik Palieri for mentoring me, and you wouldn't be able to be here or do this without him, I don't think. And thanks to everybody who tuned in to listen, even afterwards. Please drop me a line. My email is jason@jbakervt.com. That domain is jbakervt.com. The J stands for Jason, the VT stands for Vermont, and Baker is my last name. So jbakervt.com. You can send email to jason@jbakervt.com, music@jbakervt.com, or booking at jbakervt.com. Especially that last one. Just kidding. Well, maybe. This song is called Right or Wrong, and this is my last song. Thank you for listening to the Lighthouse and then the songs from Common Man Blues and my meager attempts at doing proper folk music. But thanks again for tuning in. This is called Right or Wrong. There's flooding in Japan, wildfires out in the west. Prime Minister's in trouble, the nominee has been guessed. Blasphemy in the Philippines and assaulting back in power. There's questions about the borders, hate in full flower. This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? To the land of the free, like pearls. There's protests and complaints, so get out of your bed. Those lights are flashing red. This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? They're shooting in the churches. Nothing is sacred anymore. And all the whole world over, there's nothing but the war. There is a little village, a place that won't survive. Well, say hello to your friends now while they are still alive. This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? Sing it with me. This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? This is a time for revolution and a time to right the wrongs. Which side are you on? Right or wrong? Well, thank you, folks. I think that's going to be it for the night for me, for my live stream. I really appreciate everyone who tuned in on Folk Unlocked or on YouTube. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed it. Please drop me a line either in the chat on Pathable, or just send me an email to jason@jbakervt.com, or to go visit my website at jbakervt.com and check out my stuff there. You can also find all my music at your normal streaming service, YouTube, Spotify, whatever you use. And contact me if you want a CD. I have some. Thanks, everybody. I am at 2 from Burlington, Vermont. This is Jason Baker. Good time this hour. And keep playing music and loving music. Love you. Bye.